Unhappiness isn't always a personal choice or a result of unfortunate circumstances. Sometimes, it's tied to habits people have unconsciously developed over time. What sort of habits? Well, there are many, but the 8 we will cover today are key offenders. These can lead to a cycle of persistent dissatisfaction and negativity, making happiness feel elusive and out of reach. Let's dive in. 1. Constantly focusing on the negative. Ever met someone who seems to have a knack for zeroing in on the downside of every situation? We all have. You know how it is. They might have a job they desire, but they only talk about how stressful it is. They might live in a beautiful home, but they're fixated on the noisy neighbors. This habit of constantly focusing on the negatives can make it hard for them to appreciate the positives in their life. It's easy to blame them for this, but keep in mind that focusing on the negative isn't necessarily a personal choice. Sometimes it's a deeply ingrained habit that takes time and conscious effort to change. 2. Avoiding social interactions. Humans are social animals. We thrive on interaction, connection, and a sense of belonging. That's why, surprisingly, one habit that contributes to persistent unhappiness is the avoidance of social interactions. People who tend to be unhappy might steer clear of social situations. They might feel uncomfortable in gatherings, prefer solitude, or even withdraw from their friends and family. This avoidance can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness over time. It might seem like they're protecting themselves from potential negativity or conflict, but in reality, they're missing out on the joys of companionship and shared experiences. 3. Overthinking everything. Some people tend to analyze, reanalyze, and then overanalyze every situation. They may replay past events in their mind, worry about the future, or dwell on their mistakes. This habit of overthinking can be paralyzing and lead to excessive worry and anxiety. Breaking this cycle can be challenging, but it's an essential step towards fostering peace of mind and improving overall happiness. 4. Struggling with self-acceptance. In a world full of comparisons and high standards, it's easy to lose sight of our value. People who find themselves constantly unhappy often struggle with accepting themselves just as they are. They may be harsh critics of their actions, appearance, or achievements. They might feel they're never good enough, or that they continually fall short of their own or others' expectations. They need to remember, though, that we all have our strengths and weaknesses. No one is perfect, and that's okay. It's our imperfections that make us unique and human. Self-acceptance isn't about ignoring our flaws or avoiding growth. It's about acknowledging our worth and being kind to ourselves despite our shortcomings. By embracing self-acceptance, we create a foundation for genuine happiness and contentment. 5. Resisting change. It's often said that the only constant in life is change, yet many people find it hard to accept. This resistance to change is another habit that can contribute to persistent unhappiness. Unhappy people often cling to their routines, their comfort zones, or their familiar patterns. They might fear the unknown, worry about what could go wrong, or feel overwhelmed by the idea of adjusting to something new. However, embracing change can open doors to new opportunities, experiences, and growth. Learning to navigate through change rather than resisting it can lead to personal growth and enhance overall happiness. 6. Neglecting self-care. We all know someone who's always busy, always on the go, and always taking care of everyone else's needs before their own. While often stemming from good intentions, this can pave the way to chronic unhappiness. This person may feel too overwhelmed with work, home life, or social obligations to take a moment for themselves. They might believe that taking a break is a luxury they can't afford or that prioritizing their needs is selfish. But here's the thing. Nobody can pour from an empty cup. Eventually, constant giving without replenishing can lead to burnout, stress, and a sense of dissatisfaction. If you know someone like this, encourage them to listen to their body, respect their limits, and take time to nurture their physical, emotional, and mental health. By making self-care a priority, they could significantly improve their sense of happiness and well-being. 7. Holding on to grudges. We've all been hurt at some point in our lives. It's part of being human. What defines us, however, is how we handle those hurts. When someone carries a grudge, they're essentially carrying around the weight of past wrongs. They're allowing old wounds to fester and letting those past hurts dictate their present happiness. The truth is, holding a grudge doesn't make the person who wronged them feel bad. It makes them feel bad. It keeps them stuck in a cycle of anger and resentment. Sound like someone you know and care for? Remind them that forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook or saying what they did was okay. It's about freeing themselves from the burden of resentment and opening up space for peace and happiness in their lives. 8. Ignoring the present moment. Last but not least, perpetually dissatisfied people tend to ruminate over past mistakes or worry about future uncertainties, missing out on the beauty and experiences of the current moment. They might overlook their current blessings, achievements, or joys, always looking back or ahead. If you know someone like this, it might be good to remind them that the past is gone, and the future is yet to come. All we truly have is this moment. By cultivating mindfulness and learning to live in the present, they can fully appreciate life as it unfolds and find contentment and happiness in their everyday experiences. In conclusion, understanding the habits that contribute to persistent unhappiness is a significant step toward cultivating a happier, more fulfilling life. It's all about recognizing these patterns, challenging them, and making conscious efforts toward change. If you recognize these traits in someone you care for, it might be wise to offer a helping hand. Here's to paving the way for a happier, more content life. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more content like this.